Good evening, fellow punters. Just gone 7 o'clock on Friday evening. Mickey D back with you with a few for Saturday. We have a lot of bus horses running tomorrow. We had not a bad day. We had Fable was a good winner, outstayed the 2 milers. That's the reason I picked that horse, because he had won a pint, or ran in a pint to pint, hadn't they? And the long straight in Bangor suited. He was 9-2 early in the day and won at 4-1. No Tango ran a good race, but the speed was holding up in Kimpton, it seemed, today. He could have roused it up a little bit sooner on the turn. Got closer. Probably the best horse was second, because the 7-pound claimer made the difference on the rail. Young Gordon, he's a good gossoon. And we were unlucky with one in Medan, just 25-1 and 28-1 in places, beating a short head and a short head. That was a Group 2, and that was the first run for Seymour. That'll probably go in the. It'll probably go in again before the Group 1 in March. He'll improve that horse a good bit. Anyway, tomorrow, as I said, we have a lot of. I narrowed them down. I left out a few. The first one there is Buxted Too. There's 2 on the Goo now tomorrow for Goo enthusiasts. Buxted Too, we won. That was 20s, 20-1 there a couple of weeks ago when it won. It won at 13-2, but we tipped it up at 12s and went out to 20s. And then it ran again since in Newcastle, and he's a tough little campaigner. He's 2 for 2 at the trip there. And even though he got up £3 for it to 73, as a 3-year-old, he was rated 78, 79 in that category. So he's in form.
Pace quickening off the turn, 3.5 out. Back to the 3 furlong marker, in fact, on the far side, time stabbed by a half length to Buxted Too, travelling well near side. Bobber T trying to pick up behind the pace, then Jubilee Girl, Golden Vintage to the far side. Trailblazer tries to get going from the back. Back inside the final 2, Buxted Too, tackled by Bobber T as time stamp gives way. Trailblazer trying to finish off behind them with Jubilee Girl. Back to the final furlong they come then. Under the near side rail, Bobber T, the nose banded runner on the far side. Yellow cap is Buxted Too. Jubilee Girl kept going with Trailblazer, who's trying to finish. It's Buxted Too who leads as they race up towards the line. Buxted Too tackled by Jubilee Girl, but Buxted Too does enough and wins to Jubilee Girl. Trailblazer.
He's gutsy, and he done that in the previous race as well. But the favourite, there's a hot favourite in that race, but it hasn't ran at the trip. The hell is wrong here? And that's the worrying thing. 9.5 furlongs, and it ran at 10 furlongs. It won at 10. So he's a good Oak. So we could include him. And the other one on the Goo is going for a bus record tomorrow. Alligator Alley. It has won 4 for us. 3 in a row the last 3 times. And then it won in Catterick, or was it, or Thirsk? Thirsk last August. Won its last 3. This was its last run in Wolverhampton. Of 96, and he needs a fast pace, as I said multiple times. The faster the go, the better he'll finish.
2 lengths to Strong Power, Venturous, Caboose off the bridle at the back of the field. They're heading for home in the feature. Bedford Fly has company. Tone the Barone ranges up side. Lord Ridderford travels strongly in behind them in third. Then half a length to Alligator Alley, who's going well. Then Strong Power being ridden from Venturous. Heading for home and approaching the final furlong. Bedford Fly trying to make all. From Tone the Barone, the near side. Lord Ridderford, the far side. Strong Power running on. And now Alligator Alley has found a way through and it's quickening up to challenge. Bedford Fly, Alligator Alley putting in a strong run the far side. Strong Power, the near side. Alligator Alley is wearing down Bedford Fly to land the sport.
Bedford Flyer is up against us as well tomorrow, but he was behind us the last day. But he's waited to turn it around. Speed is the problem. Probably Tone the Roan might be out in front again. But we could include him. I was saying there was 4 of them. The other one is in the 320 at Uttoxeter. A horse that won very well for us the last time was Fine Casting. Now it's up £8 for it. But it hosed up that day by 11 lengths was it? It's up £8. He's carrying a big weight. But it's an improving sort. Let me see. I think he's 5-2. Yeah, 5-2. And the other one was it Newbury, wasn't it? Meatloaf. If we put them 4 together in a small little Lucky 15, and in each way a cume maybe or something small, people that has won on those horses before, that's how I make a few pound. I'll put them together and do cross doubles, cross trebles as well, and if it clicks, it clicks, and if it doesn't, you're not down a lot of money. Our motto on this bus is bet small, win big, instead of if you bet big, you lose big. So them 4. And the 235, no, what's the big race? 335, isn't it? It's the Betfair Hurl. That was won last year by Glory and Fortune. The favourite is Filey Bay, trained by Emmett Mullins. So it's in the colours of JP for the first time, but Emmett Mullins hasn't had a winner since the 4th of December. I was looking at 2 in this race. One, we done us a good turn, No Ordinary Joe. It's a 7-year-old. This one, just after Christmas, to the day we had winter fog, and we had 3 of them up that day, and the one in Let Us Down in Limerick, was it the Connector, was it? But this had great potential a couple of years ago, and they seem to have got back on track. And the other one is Icare Alley for JP as well, and Willie Mullins. The reason this was 4th in the Supreme or in the Triumph Hurdle last year, but it had a not so busy time in Fairy House. I was there that day and I was watching this, and I was saying, when I was looking up the track, I was saying this show could win. But the reason I'm sort of putting it in as well is the original anti-post favourite for this was Gaelic Warrior, and they ran Gaelic Warrior in for a big pot in Leopardstown last week, and they kept this. It's lightly raced. The only thing is, they gave it a bit of education the last day and they brought it through the middle. They weren't too busy on it. There's a couple of bus horses there as well. We have Teddy Blue, who ran recently and he was up £5 for winning a maiden hurdle, but I think it was a deliberate tactic on their behalf to run him to win because they needed to get in. He's a 5-year-old as well, and he was 10th in the Triumph Hurdle last year. But I'd be against the Fav. Let him hose up if he wants, but they'd be my 2 against the field. And there's one at Naas tomorrow. It ran in Gordon the day I was down there. The day it was By Your Side, and it's a 4-year-old, but it ran pretty decent that day, and it gets a £12 weight for age allowance, which could be crucial. It was 3rd that day to. Listen here, we had backed 6 hands in my pocket, and but I thought By Your Side ran a decent enough race that day, and it's an each way selection. It was 5-1 earlier. 4-1, 9-2. There's a bit of money for it. So in the 235 at the 225, the Dinman Chase. We have 2 horses that won for us before. Does He Know? That won really well the last day. And Hitman wasn't seen now since it was pulled up in the King George, and apparently it bled that day as well. It's better. It's well in on the ratings. It's rated 160, and it would be given £2 to Does He Know, and it's getting 4, so that's a £6 swing. And Eldorado Allen is 162. He's carrying a penalty as well. He won this race last year, actually. If it was farther and softer, I'd be on Does He Know, but I think Hitman, if he's in the form that he was unlucky for us in the Old Roan Chase, and then he hosed up after that. But it's a bit iffy, but Cobden and Nichols on a Saturday, so he is 5-2 best price there. That would be, and someone that doesn't want to put one of them on the go in, they could stick them in Meatloaf, Fine Caston, and Hitman. Small tricks to yourselves. I never go too mental on Saturdays, and we had a decent enough week, like, you know, so don't give it back to them on a Saturday. I have to do the that's why I'm a bit early this evening. I have to do the podcast now with the Stig, so I have to get that we'll get that up tomorrow evening. So I've one to run yet again tonight at 7:15, so we'll see how that goes. Bash the bookies, over and out. There was a couple of good winners given out today. Gary Rushgrove, Bretney, that done the business. And .com Racing Tips, he has put up 5 horses in the last 2 days, and 4 out of the 5 I think have won. And Paula had a place there as well today. Newcomers, Martin Murphy, Jason Elliott, Jay Riley was on yesterday. I gave him a shout out yesterday, and they did a harsh win today. J. Riley, did you notice that? Oliver Hanley was looking for a wheelbarrow, but we had no pink ones, so I've ordered a blue one instead, because Prasan Barla, he's in India. Shane Coughlin is new, and it's good to see Billy Connolly back on the bus. He's a Meath man in Canada. He'll be very happy with Colin O'Rourke, the way they've started. They're 2 for 2 in the Alliance League. The NFL is on Sunday night, so I'm on the Chiefs, as you well know. So somebody asked me what bets had I done. I have them at 6-1 and I have them at 4-1, and I'll probably do a few bets in between as well, with say MVP and a few things like that. Pint spread. Anyway, we'll see. I might put them up. I might do a separate video tomorrow evening or something. But I'll have to do the other one tonight. That'll be up tomorrow evening with the Stig. Bash the bookies, over and out.